Hey viewers, you're watching the Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. At least 16 files containing records related to the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein disappeared from the US Department of Justice public website less than a day after they were posted, sparking political controversy and renewed public scrutiny. The documents were released on December 19 under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a law signed by President Donald Trump just 1 month earlier. But by Saturday, several of the files had become inaccessible without explanation or public notice. Among the missing materials were images of artwork depicting nude women and a photograph showing Donald Trump alongside Epstein, Melania Trump, and Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell. That image appeared as part of a larger photograph showing multiple pictures arranged on furniture and inside drawers at one of Epstein's residences. The Justice Department has not clarified whether the files were removed deliberately or accidentally, and a spokesperson did not respond to the media inquiries as of now. The unexplained disappearance quickly fueled speculations online and in Congress about what had been taken down and why, intensifying long-standing interest in Epstein's connections to powerful figures. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee publicly highlighted the missing Donald Trump image in a post on X, asking what else might be being covered up and calling for transparency for the American public. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer went further, suggesting the episode could represent one of the largest cover-ups in modern American history. While House Oversight Democrats demanded immediate answers from Attorney General Pam Bondi. The broader document released included thousands of Epstein-related records referencing prominent individuals, including former President Bill Clinton, whose name appeared multiple times in photographs and documents. In contrast, Donald Trump's name was largely absent from the written records despite his previously documented social connections to Epstein. This absence stood up because Donald Trump's name had appeared in earlier disclosures, including flight logs from Epstein's private jets released by the Justice Department earlier in the year. Donald Trump has consistently denied any involvement in Epstein's criminal activities and has not been accused of wrongdoing. Several highly anticipated documents were also missing from the release, including FBI interviews with victims and internal Justice Department memoranda explaining prosecutorial decisions. These omissions revived long-standing questions about how federal prosecutors handled Epstein's case in the mid-2000s, when he secured a controversial plea agreement that allowed him to plead guilty to a minor state prostitution charge rather than face federal sex trafficking charges. Other figures linked to Epstein, including the United Kingdom's former Prince Andrew, were mentioned, only sparingly, raising further questions about who was thoroughly investigated and who was not. While the new material did include some previously unseen elements, such as a 1996 complaint accusing Epstein of stealing photographs of children and records showing how the Justice Department ultimately backed away from federal prosecution. It was largely dominated by photographs of Epstein's properties in New York and the US Virgin Islands, along with scattered images of celebrities and politicians. Many of the files were heavily redacted or lacked context, including a 119-page document labeled Grand Jury NY that was entirely blacked out. Federal prosecutors have acknowledged that millions of pages of records exist from the investigation into Epstein and Maxwell, only a fraction of which overlap with publicly released materials. Although Congress set a deadline for full disclosure, the Justice Department has now said that the remaining documents will be released on a rolling basis, citing the need to protect victims' identities. That open-ended timeline has frustrated survivors and lawmakers who pushed for transparency, with many saying that the latest release marks not an end but the beginning of yet another prolonged wait for a full accounting of Epstein's criminal network and the systematic failures that allowed it to persist for years. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.